Hey gang, it's Platt here, and today we're moving our wine series from France to Italy. Italy is home to some of the oldest wine producing regions in the world. It's also the largest producer of wine in the world. Italy produces somewhere between 45 and 50 million hectoliters of wine per year. Or to put it another way, estimated to be around 1/4 to 1/3 of the total world's wine production. They love wine in Italy. Winemaking began in Italy around the 8th century BC when the Greeks had kind of invaded, taken over, and they'd brought their wine making history over there. After the Greeks left, and then the Romans took over, and they began expanding the empire throughout Europe. And one of the things they did was they took their winemaking culture, knowledge, and more importantly, their different grapes, and they spread them throughout Europe, and they kind of help plant the seeds of future wine producing cultures throughout Europe, including France. Actually, France today is more known for quality wines than Italy is. Italy's thought more of as a table wine country, but they still produce and strive to produce high quality wines. And that's why in the 60s they began their first classification system. At the time it was just two-tiered. On the bottom pretty much was table wine, and up top they referred to as quality wine. In that they had two sub-designations. They had DOC, or Denomination Originale Controle, which is their version of AOC. And then they also had a DOC designation, DOCG designation. The G standing for guaranteed, which is kind of a higher appellation. Think of it as you have Bordeaux wine, but within Bordeaux you have Haute Medoc or Chateau Lafite Rothschild, something like that. Today, Italy switched to more of a four-tier system, and that's for a couple of different reasons. A, they ran into an issue with some high-quality wines being produced that didn't fit in the DOC category, but did not need to be labeled as table wine. Also, they had to start fitting into the EU's labeling system. So now they are in a four-tier system. The first tier is Vini, or just regular table wine. You won't see what the grape is. You won't see anything about a region. It'll just tell you it's red or white wine. Pretty simple. Then you have Vini Veritale. That's varietal. In that bottle, you have at least 85% of whatever the grape it says on there. And usually it's international grapes. Cab Sauv, Merlot, Chardonnay. Again, this gave the Italian winemakers a chance to produce some different kinds of wines besides the classic wines from the classic grapes of Italy. Next, you have Vini IGP, or some people also refer to it as PGI, which is Protected Geographic Indication. This, there's roughly 118 of these in Italy, and this is what kind of came out from, again, quality wines being made that didn't follow the DOC practices but did not need to be labeled as table wine. So this got us IGP. And then finally we have Vini DOP, which is basically DOCs and DOCG wines fall in this DOP. The P standing for Protected, Denomination Originale Protected. There's roughly 332 DOCs and 73 DOCGs in Italy. Also within Italy, there's 20 different wine producing regions. 15 of those produce DOC and DOCG quality wines. What Italy does is a little different than France as far as the DOC, AOC thing. In France, you had to know how to read the label to know if it was an AOC or whatever. Italy, they put a little stamp, like a tax stamp on there. So if you see this on an Italian bottle of wine, and here it clearly marks DOC, you know you're getting that DOC wine. So that's something to look for in Italian wines. Within Italy, they are allowed to use up to 350 different authorized grapes. So there's a huge variety of grapes to play with. But some of the major grape varietals, in whites you have Moscato Blanco, Pinot Grigio, of course, and Trebbiano. For red grapes, we're looking at Barbera, Nebbiolo, and Sangiovese, which helps produce Chianti, which may be an Italian wine most people know about. Another Italian wine or style of wine that's out there that may confuse some people is the term Super Tuscan. And these were the wines that kind of helped bring about that IGP designation. Producers were wanting to make something better than the classic Chianti, and they kind of tweaked the blend and the grapes, grapes used or whatever. And that's where that term comes from. Now, you'll never see the term Super Tuscan on an Italian bottle. That is actually used more by international makers like here in the U.S. that want to create that style of wine, and they'll refer to them as Super Tuscans. But you won't see that on a label of Italian wine. Speaking of Italian wine, let's drink a little Italian wine. The one I want to try today is the Marchesini Orvieto Classico. This is a 2016. The Orvieto is a DOC located in a couple of different regions, Umbria and Lazio. The grapes in here are Gricetto and Trebbiano. I hope I got close on that. Great thing about switching to Italy, I get to butcher another language. So let's give her a try. All right, fairly light in color. Let's give her a nose. A little pear on the nose. Let's give her a try. Oh, that's nice. Real nice. Lighter bodied. A little bit of sweetness. Not much acid, but it's not sugary sweet like a thickness like maybe a Moscato or whatever. More a lighter sweetness. Definitely apple, pearish, maybe a light honey, real light on that. Yeah, that's a real nice little summer sipper right there. Yeah, I can see that. I can envision that in a warm Italian spring evening. Trying that. This kind of could be a standalone wine. Again, because there's not a lot of acid, doesn't get the salivation going quite a bit. But overall, nice, light white wine. Definitely something I would encourage someone to try. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always leave them in the comment section, or you can contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.